up, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about how to bulk. And this is not getting blimp size in your supposed off-season. That's before and after Stereosonic, 12 weeks in between. I don't know. So these tips are going to be for people who don't want to count calories. And yes, bulking is essentially just eating more, but it's sort of ignorant to just say eat more. It's a bit like telling an overweight person to simply eat less. There's a lot more to it than that. In my opinion, any fitness endeavor is a complex interaction between what happens like physiologically and then what happens in terms of behavior change. So in terms of bulking or losing weight, you need to find consistent behavior changes that you can stick to long term. And if you can stick to those behavior changes long term, you will see progress and results. And obviously, I am more than qualified and capable to talk about this topic. I am the biggest person on the planet. A big misunderstanding about bulking is that you can just eat whatever you like and just that's gonna go all the muscle gain and you become this massive freak in about 2 weeks. But that's not the case, because if you eat too much calories, you will inevitably just get fat. These tips are going to be more in line with facilitating your eating so that you only supply your body with enough nutrients to grow. No, you don't want to go and eat 2,000 calories over maintenance, but at the same time, you don't want to go and eat 150 calories over maintenance, because either one of those things is going to inevitably lead to like wheel spinning for eternity. If you only eat a certain amount over maintenance, then how do you know that that is enough in order to facilitate progress? On one day, you might burn 150 calories more than the next day, and then over the course of the week, you've pretty much eaten at net maintenance. Vice versa, if you consume 1 bajillion calories over maintenance, then you'll get too large, let's just say, too soon. And you can only gain a certain amount of muscle in a certain amount of time, in a very long amount of time, and you can't sort of force feed yourself into anabolism. Getting too big too quick means you're going to have to diet for a longer time because you're going to have a lot of fat to diet off, and that 30 weeks that you could have spent gaining muscle, you've spent it dieting and potentially losing muscle. So doing it really, really quickly isn't always a good idea, but doing it incredibly slow, where you gain half a kilo a year, is also just as wheel spinning-ish. So in regard to the previous topic that I just spoke about, this video won't talk about how many calories you need to eat over maintenance and how long you need to bulk for. That information is also quite individual. It does depend on the training status and just a bunch of other individual factors that concern the client or the trainee that we're speaking about. This video is also going to assume that you consume enough protein. Now, if you don't think you consume enough protein, you can start by adding 1 or 2 palm-sized serves of a protein-rich food with every meal that you consume. So tip number 1 is you should probably be eating everything off a bigger plate. I recommend my weight loss clients to eat everything off smaller plates and fill the plate up, sort of. Like, don't fill it up, keep a little bit of room spare. You, on the other hand, you want to gain weight, so what I would suggest, I assume you are, unless you're just watching this video, to figure out what to do in order to lose weight by reversing the video entirely, but that would be really stupid because I probably have a bunch of weight loss videos somewhere. And this bigger plate should be full of lean meats, vegetables, carbohydrate-rich sources, and fat-rich sources in an abundance. It's also important to mention that whilst bulking, it's still important to consider your micronutrient intake. So in order to ensure that your bulking diet is rich in micronutrients, you should also probably make sure that plate is full of different colors. Tip number 2 is to just double your lunches, assuming your lunch is already conventionally healthy. I don't want you to double a block of chocolate, and if you're having a block of chocolate for lunch, then you probably don't need to be bulking. You probably need to be thinking about your diet as a whole and how you can improve on your diet. So if you have a conventionally healthy sandwich, like, whatever bread you like, I'm not fussed if it's brown, white, or black, or blue, I don't care. Well, if it's blue, you probably want to throw it out, because that's gross and moldy. Fill it with lean meats, a bunch of salady vegetables, and whatever spread you like. Obviously be conservative if the spread is not conventionally healthy. In this sandwich, you're going to have lean meats and an abundance, because some people like one thing of ham and they're like, is that enough protein? I'm like, no, it's not. Maybe you should have like a lean chicken breast in that sandwich, and then you should have an abundance of salads within the sandwich. If you're wondering, well, where am I going to get these magical sandwiches from? Subway makes them. My go-to sub, sponsor me. What do you guys do it? Is like the roast chicken sub with the lots of vegetables, and then I have avocado in there, and I have cheese, and I have, if you guys are wondering, honey mustard. because that's full of calories, but it's also quite high in nutrients as well, because I have this varied salad vegetable intake when I consume the sandwich. Tip number 3 is to drink your calories. No, not alcohol. Don't go drinking beer and trying to tell me that it's okay because you're bulking. So drink calories such as milk, or you can make your own quote unquote healthy protein shakes in order to facilitate the amount of calories that you consume throughout the day, because I understand it can be pretty hard for some people to consume the amount of calories they need in order to facilitate muscle growth. I'd also make the case that consuming multiple meals per day is important. Not so much for the whole muscle protein synthesis thing and a bunch of other factors that you probably have heard from other people, but it's important to consistently eat because you'll increase the amount of calories that you consume. Consume high fatty oils and peanut butter-like substances, or spreads. Why didn't I just call them spreads? But whatever. Consume spreads and other fatty, oily substances like the conventionally healthy fats in order, again, to increase the amount of calories that you consume. No, this does not mean, for the love of God, this doesn't mean that you go and put butter in your coffee or whatever the other cool thing people are doing these days. We're going to save why you probably shouldn't do that for another video. And lastly, tip number 6 is the most important freaking tip of them all, and is the most applicable tip to any other tip or any other topic that I can talk about within fitness, is it's be consistent and eat lots consistently, or eat enough to facilitate growth consistently. It might not be lots. I guess eating lots is up to perception. But eat what you need to eat all the time. Don't just go and eat for 2 weeks and go, oh my God, I'm fat, when really you still have a 6-pack and you think, that's it, I'm cutting. Because then what you're going to do is in 2 weeks later you're going to go, Jesus, I'm skinny, I'm going to bulk. And you know what that is? That's spinning your wheels for the rest of your life. Another thing too, don't go telling me, or whoever you tell about how much you eat, because it's sort of cool to brag about how much you eat. I do it all the time, and I'm a loser, but whatever. So don't go telling people, or your coach, if anything, yeah mate, I've been eating all the food, I haven't stopped eating, or whatever. But really, all you've done is just grazed on food all day, and you've consumed a minute amount of calories, like 5 calories throughout the course of the week, and you've expected to grow. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you in the next video.